There. So this is Hitchhiker. It's a narrative-driven game, and that's the core of what we're trying to do. We're trying to tell a very specific story about this guy who something happened, and you're trying to understand what exactly is happening. A hitchhiker usually has a destination. Well, you don't know where you're going, and the point is to find out, where am I going? Why am I going there? What happened? What kind of loss am I dealing with here? And what really is happening. So it's a narrative-driven experience. This is the team right now, which is me, Eyal Stern, Patrick Rao, Dan Meyer, and Friedemann. I'm doing most of the work in terms of programming, and we have lead game design and narrative design from Patrick. Dan Meyer is our writer, who has worked on a few things before, but he is now focusing on this one. All the dialogue that you just saw is by him. And we're currently in very early pre-production. Friedemann is going through the art. We're figuring out the art style. Compared to all the other games that are kind of a little bit more fleshed out, we are really in early pre-production. And we're just in a prototyping phase, figuring out the systems. So we want this to be a narrative-driven game, but we need to walk the line between a telltale game, where you're basically watching a movie, pressing a button, watching a movie, pressing a button, and an adventure game where there's a ton of interaction. So we are finding the middle ground that we want to have here, telling the story and having interaction as well. So, you know, games like recently, like Firewatch, games like Gone Home, that have done very narrative-heavy experiences with specific interaction cues, and they're all walking that line. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to replicate here. So we do have interaction built in, and we're thinking about all these kind of things. Interaction in we call it the cockpit of the car. So we are thinking about you sitting in a car, talking to the driver, having the dialogue, but also maybe dealing with the radio, having all kinds of puzzles in there, opening the glove box, opening the window, having to do things that start to become more and more surreal, more weird and different. It becomes completely dreamscapey in a state where I have no idea what's going on, and it's so weird and bizarre, and then you really realize this is not real. This is your subconscious trying to tell you something. The drivers know about you more than they should know, and something is very odd. Saying more than that will, first of all, tell you the story, which we don't want to do, but that's kind of the mystery of this game, and your path through it will tell you what you take from the game and you take from the experience. Yeah, we have a bunch of interaction here, and we're also happy to announce that Humble Bundle are interested in the game, and they're helping fund the prototype, which is the first step of what we're trying to do. We are now exactly in that stage of prototyping. Once we have a prototype, Humble Bundle are pretty interested in funding the full game. If they'll do well, we'll have funding for the full game and move on from there. And that's about it. Where are you headed?
Bye-bye. Thanks a lot. I'm going to ask the last up on stage, please, before we come on to the questions. Ready to switch around? So what does the jury say about Hitchhiker?
Will you ever get out of the car?
Right now we're thinking no. We just want to switch you around to another driver.
Okay, when you're thinking about the balance between a click-through story and a lot more puzzles, which way are you leaning?
Well, we're leaning more towards the narrative. The narrative, the story that we want to tell, we actually have a really, really specific story that we want to tell, and Dan is a writer, lead writer, a narrative designer, is working through that roadmap right now.
And the art style that you're thinking about, are you thinking about going with a pretty basic blocky style, or are you thinking about maturing that beta into something that is really kind of visually stunning and beautiful?
So it lends itself very, very well to all kinds of art styles, because it's very easy to put on, like what you just saw has a ton of post effects on. We want it to really feel like this could be real, but it is kind of dreamscapey, and a lot of what we plan to do with the backgrounds and what you're viewing is a lot of crazy stuff. We have a lot of interesting ideas, but they're all coming down to tying to the narrative. So the art style will need to lead to that. We can go something more realistic, and we can go a little bit crazier and crazier. We're still figuring it out. It is exactly that stage of prototyping, art prototyping as well.
Yeah. I again question. How long do you think the game's going to be? How far are you along, like content-wise?
Yeah, so it's very, very early for us. It's really pre-production. The first thing that we want to do is create this prototype, which is one ride that takes about 20 to 30 minutes, really depending on the player and how fast you go through the parts where you really have interaction. From then on, we're thinking about multiple rides per chapter and a few chapters, which could be a season. And that's kind of how we're thinking about it, because the grand story that we want to tell has a few seasons going into it, but the first thing to do is probably have a few rides per chapter, a few chapters, and that's roughly, if each ride is 20, 35 minutes, then 4 hours or so per season.
Would that mean multiple main characters?
Right now we're not thinking about that, but maybe. Right now there's a really big story that we're trying to tell here, and it would require quite a lot to go through that, but we'll see.
So does it mean you're looking at an episodic game?
Yeah, could very much be.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have much questions because you are figuring it out, so
It's pretty early.
it's pretty early. One thought I had as you were pitching it, I think it's interesting that you have like Firewatch and Gone Home and these benchmark titles. I would very strongly recommend that you look at other less successful games as well, because it's very easy to look at the big success.
We have.
Yeah, good. Cool. That's all I have to say. Thanks.
I had wondered, as far as VR and the interaction model that you were having with, have you explored anything with touch controls or Vive? And what headsets are you looking to support?
Yeah, so that's actually very interesting, because the game lends itself so well to VR because you're sitting in the car. So it's pretty easy to do that. This is something that we're thinking about originally. We didn't think that much about VR. We are aiming for a mouse or maybe a controller, so PC and consoles. But if we find a model of interaction that we're very comfortable with, and we also find a good way of putting it into VR, there's no reason not to port this game to VR as well.
I mean, because I'm sitting there and I would love to have like a touch controller and just take the wheel and just start steering it, or things I can't do in real life.
Some people, yeah, have
a death wish, so I'm just going to
hostile takeover of the car. It's not a driving simulator.
So yeah, inside of the car, you only have that one guy. Would you have like a family or a variety of cars you can get in? I'm not sure.
We have some very specific crazy things happening in the backseat, yes. They're all planned.
And the other thought I thought about, as far as like the creepy vibe, you may be able to exploit like the uncanny valley where you're sitting there and everybody's just staring at you.
We actually have a VR demo,
Yeah.
and every single person has told us that guy's creepy, is going to kill you. Look at crazy eyes, just crazy eyes, because they're just deadpan. So yeah,
That's all good. Good work.
thank you.
Thanks a lot.